Imagine walking from Washington, D.C. to New York City and back every single day. Impossible, right? Maybe for you and me, but for many marine organisms, the idea isn't too far-fetched. As the largest synchronous migration in the world, the Diel vertical migration is a daily pattern of movement in which some marine organisms, primarily zooplankton, swim up to the shallow surface waters of the epipelagic zone at night and return to the deeper mesopelagic zone during the day. So how was it discovered? First documented in 1817 by French naturalist Georges Cuvier, it wasn't recognized as a phenomenon until World War II. While carrying out sound propagation experiments, the University of California's Division of War Research kept getting results indicating a distinct reverberation. Initially, these readings were thought to have been caused by the presence of enemy submarines, but Martin W. Johnson of Scripps Institution of Oceanography thought differently. Working with the War Research Division, the Scripps researchers confirmed that the observed reverberations were caused by dense groupings of organisms scattering the sonar and creating a false bottom. So how do the organisms know when to complete the migration? Well, the migration is triggered by various stimuli, both endogenous and exogenous. One cue for vertical migration is changes in light intensity when the sun rises and sets. Another is the organism's endogenous rhythm, also known as its biological clock. So what's the benefit? Why do so many organisms bother to make such an arduous journey? The connection between available light and diel vertical migration indicates that organisms may stay in deeper, darker areas during the day to avoid being eaten by predators who depend on light to see and catch their prey. Of course, prey still need to eat, and since the ocean's surface provides an abundance of food, the organisms swim up to the surface at night to feed under the protection of darkness. In addition to the more individual need for food and safety from predators, the diel vertical migration is also important on a shared level. Let's look towards the biological pump. The biological pump is the set of processes by which inorganic carbon is converted into organic matter via photosynthesis in the euphotic zone and then sequestered away from the atmosphere into the deeper ocean. And without vertical migration, it wouldn't be nearly as efficient. The deep ocean gets most of its nutrients from this continuous shower of organic detritus, often referred to as marine snow, made up of dead organisms, fecal matter, sand, and other inorganic material. Organisms migrating up to the surface at night to feed and migrating back into the depths during the day makes it so that they defecate sinking fecal pellets at a lower depth than they would if they had just stayed at the surface. This is important because while some larger fecal pellets can sink quite fast, the speed that organisms migrate downwards is faster. And because a large majority of the deep sea depends on marine snow for nutrients, the quicker it can reach the ocean floor, the better. If there's anything I want you to take away from this, it's that you should be thankful that you don't need to walk 500 miles daily to eat and avoid being eaten.